All right, hello everybody. How you doing? Oh wow, you guys are all busy already. Looks like I got a lot to catch up on. So as you may have noticed, I just put a pinned post talking about the prayer requests. So we're not going to take prayer requests yet, so don't put those in yet. Wait for me to say. Keep them simple so they're easy to read. Keep them specific. Don't just be like, I need money. That's already covered in the other stuff. Just put if you have a very specific need, that's when you would submit a prayer request. But again, don't put them in yet, because if you put them in now, I'm not going to take them. So follow the rules. They're very simple. Wait for me to say. And then we'll do that. But we're not doing it yet. We're going to wait a minute. I got to see what all's going on here. Yeah, you can. Someone's asking about attunements if they can buy for a friend. Yes, just put their name in the notes. Yeah, just put their name in the notes when you buy. Don't try to send a message. Messages and orders don't go together. So if you just send me a message, I'm not going to necessarily know what order it goes with. So put it in the notes, like it has notes to buyer or notes to seller or something like that. Put it there. All right. Well, it's good to see everybody. Thanks for being here. And again, thank you for paying attention to me last week. And I did not get overrun with a bunch of messages today. I really appreciate that. It's been a long week, and I'm really exhausted. My patience would have been very thin. So I really do appreciate everyone for respecting my those boundaries. All right, yeah. Please listen and don't put in the prayer request just yet. So, yeah, don't put them in yet. Sorry, guys. I don't know how many times I have to say it. What was I about to say? Yeah, we've just been had a real busy week. I had in my 151 study group, someone posted. Well, I had posted that my holy guardian angel name and initiation was my biggest, what I felt like the most important attunement thing offered in the store, and a whole bunch of people ordered it. So that was unexpected, and I still had a bunch of the servitors, so I was finishing those. Then I finished those, and then I jumped onto that. So it's been real busy because with all of those, I have to create an attunement. When you create an attunement, it's very taxing, and so it's very. And I was doing like 3 or 4 or 5 of those, sometimes 6 or 7 a day, most days of the week. And then someone posted that they got it, and then they got a lot of money because of it, and so 17 people ordered it in one night, and more has been coming. So I have a lot of work ahead of me, and this is a good problem. I'm not complaining, but it is again, it's very taxing. So I've been very tired, and it's kind of it's a lot of work. But it's a good problem. I'm happy that people are interested in that. It really is something that I'm very proud of and very fond of. So I'm really glad that I can help people with that. But I do want to say that it is not a guarantee that it's going to suddenly make money roll into your life. That's not what the Holy Guardian Angel does. Money is not its priority. Your spiritual journey is its priority. And that's what it's going to work towards. So yeah, the problem with the cliff, I'm going to start offering the clipothic attunement soon, but I have to write another form of a manual, and that is a time-consuming process. That's what actually is holding that up. I'm ready to do the work. I just haven't got the manual written yet, the base manual that I can then base the other manuals on. So, and my wife is going on a big trip. She's got to help her mother move this week, and from Texas to Idaho. So it's a big deal, and there's like just been a lot of getting ready and preparation for that and planning. So everything's been just really super busy here. And once she's at least has left, then I'll have more time to focus on getting the new stuff out that I've talked about, because I do want to get that stuff out. So, all right, it's after 2:05, so let's go ahead and begin putting in prayer requests. Remember, write prayer requests at the beginning, or I will not know what it is, because these come in fast and I will not read them. Once again, I'm trying not to say your name out loud in the when I read them. I know that in privacy is an important thing to people. I'm sorry if I'm quiet here while I'm doing this. Also, try to remember just to get it all in one. Don't repeat. Don't do the same one over and over and over again. That's ridiculous. Please don't. Please be respectful about this whole thing. And don't be greedy. Keep them coming. Another couple of minutes. Now's the time. Remember, I will not take them after I say stop here. So if you have a question, we're going to take them the prayer request, and then we're going to get started. And then afterwards, I will answer some questions. So save your questions to the end at this point. Do want to keep things moving. I know that this is late for some people. Okay, any more? We got about 1 more minute before I'm going to get started. Okay, I'm going to call it right there. No more prayer requests. That's it. Sorry, guys. We got, it's like 4 pages of prayer requests. I think that's about what we had last time, so that's a good amount, I think. Okay. So let me make sure I've got everything open and ready. So we will be doing the third Path of Beauty as the pathworking today, which is again through the the elemental Watchtower of Earth. Will be for physical strength this week. And it covers, like you may have noticed, like we're covering a lot of the same angels because we're just hitting all the different ways through it. And a lot of times, like especially as you get higher in the hierarchy, you hit the same angels. So we're still working with the same king and goddess. But yeah, you'll find a lot of the angels repeat through these. So, but yeah, we'll get to that when we get there. So let's get started. Take a moment, get centered. Guess I can go ahead and do this now. Got the lawman, the ring, tables back there. We're ready to go. All right. Listen, all you who can hear me. The Father is mysterious, everlasting, and transcendent. The Mother is here and is all things, all that we can see and don't see. We are the holy children, and together we are who create reality and have the privilege to experience and explore creation. Let us join together now as one in prayer and create a new world. In the name of the Father, the Mother, and the holy children. Let our hearts become a holy temple and our minds a holy throne. Enter God all-powerful and dwell in the temple of our spirit. Let our thoughts be as immaculate light and our gratitude become an unconquerable power. Gilava, Gia Doa Ayan, Ia Iada, A Exton Tosser, Odd A Ne Noromi, Gimanans Noan, Ne Siagian, Gimanan, Ne Oxiayal, Gimii, Ia Idan, Odd Fayance, A Sia Ian, Agiga, Gi Angalard, Noan, Alpert, Agi, Ekrin, Noan Uget, Mikals. I will now call on the Mother for the divine authority to call on the angels. Galva, show yourself, sink in me. Bring down the flaming temple of your seething loins upon my mighty sword. Be thou my drunken harlot. I inhabit your throne in heaven in the joy of God. Thunder understanding underneath me. Groan the secrets of holy mysteries in my mouth. Bring forth the philosopher's stone and become my handmaid. Galva Zamran, Karbath Yol, Drixa Ialpor, Sia Ian, Dia Urip, Dax Mire, Al Mikalze, Napta, Bobo, or Orspa, Babylon, Ol Zodireda, Ge Oxia Yal, A Madriax, Ola Mozad, Avavago, Miketh, Oraka U, Holdo A Layad, De Ni Kiklis Il Butman, Yoka Madar Anoan Ol Kirist. She who is the end, mother of all, pray for us. Open the eye of our heart so that we can see the secret truth of the heavens, so that we may see the face of the highest, so we become the most powerful. I pray that all confusion of our own power be destroyed. Open our eyes to the truth and the Spirit, that the Spirit of man magnifies the Spirit of God and is the Holy Spirit. We are the Creator. We create creation. I am the Lord your God. I am what I am. Galva extentasser lava lapke. Odo a o aeon. Age monans ar ge adget. Uran ar lai ad voan. Dia madriax. Ar ge adget. A adoian. De iaida. Ar ge adget. No one a iaidan. O lava tor unki. De gi mikals. Zirom ke kusab. Odo ooan. Tua voian. Age de cordzes. Ovaf. Age yad. Adzir. Kongamfia, Gezirdo Akaal, Gekaas Kaan, Zirinayad, Gahoa Akma. United as one, we now ask for freedom from the impression of all curses and harmful spirits. Take a moment and feel how much you hate being oppressed by a curse or harmful spirit. And as I perform the banishing, transform that feeling into gratitude, as though you are already free. I, Jareth Tempest, by my own name and by my own authority, banish all curses and evil spirits from all who hear my voice and desire liberation. Ol Arpan Tol Ama, Ad Tol Babylon, Ga Tol Di Sorpeth. In the name of Yia Idan, the all-powerful and Zilladarp who stretches forth and conquers, I banish all curses and evil spirits from all who hear my voice and desire liberation. Ol Arpan Tol Aman, Ad Tol Babylon, Ga Tol Di Sorpath. In the name of Galva, Lady of the Apocalypse and Mother of all angels and abominations, I banish all curses and evil spirits from all who hear my voice and desire liberation. Ol Arpan Tol Aman, Ad Tol Babylon, Ga Tol Di Sorpath. I place all who are willing under my wing and my protection. I call upon the mercy of the kings of the four watchtowers, Bata Eva, king of the watchtower Exap, Ra'agios, king of the watchtower Hekoma, Igzeheheka, king of the watchtower Nanta, and Edlaparna, king of the watchtower Bitom, to open their gates and send forth their legions, to set up a hedge of protection around everyone who listens to my voice right now and who desires to be protected. Build an impenetrable fortress around us and keep us safe. Blans par de Sopath, Yodkam Givi Patriarchs di Blans, Blansgi. Now feel your gratitude for being delivered, and take a moment to know that you are safe and protected. Filled with divine authority and now free from the influence of all harmful spirits, I will recite the first key to unlock the heavens so that we may summon the angels on our of the day to do our will. Ol Samvorsk, Goho Iavbach, Lanch Kau Zumfro, Soba Ziol, Wura Et Nazpad Gra'a, Tal Malpeg Dishol, Aka'a Nathoa Zim Zad, Koma Ta Nobele, Zion, Soba Thilganop, Perge Alde Od, Verups, Obele, Gasarm Kasarm, Ohorle Kaba Pir Od, Zonrezg, Kab Iadna, Pila Farms, Zurza Adna, Disgono Iadpil Dishom, Ol Tosoba Ipam, Louis Palmas, Dis Loholo, Vet Zomad Poamol, Ad Bagpa, Aayi, Ta Pia Piamo, Iad Veoan, Zakare, Ka'a Ad, Zamran Odo Kikle Ka'a Zorge, Lab Zirdo Noko Mad Huath Ya Iada. An invocation for all the angels of Sunday. In the name of Ea Yidan and Yabis, on this day of the sun, I, Jareth Tempest, conjure you, all the angels of Sunday, Lord Sol, the illuminator, king of all the stars and begetter of vision. O Lord Sol, whose angels nurture and cause the herbs and the trees to bear fruit, who adorns the whole world with majesty, who banishes adversities in the darkness. Lord Sol, the embellishment of priceless things, the beauty and majesty of pearls, gold, and precious stones, the glory of kings and the thought of judges. I, Jareth Tempest, conjure you, all angels of this day, servants of Lord Sol, who is inconceivable, incomprehensible, who sees the powers of heavens and understands the splendors of Ida. I conjure you, all the angels of this Sunday, luminous spirits of Lord Sol, the candle that burns before the dark and dreadful Zillodarp. I am Jareth Tempest, and you will not disobey me, for I know who I am. I am the child of wisdom and the lover of Galva, the mother, the end of all things. I remember that I am Gaho Akma. I am what I am. I am Yido Ego, he that sits on the holy throne. I am Yia Yidan, the all-powerful. I conjure you by the mysterious and powerful name of the outer circumference, Horwin, by the seventh who governs the seven, Hedem He Ayi, by the archangel of the sphere, Raphael, by the archangel of creation, Michael, by the unspeakable name of God, Oizir, by the daughter of light, Yana, by the son of light, Damal, by the daughter of the daughter, Izad, by the son of the sun, Liba, by the archangel of the sun, Sameliel, by the rulers of the Heptarchy, King Kamara and Prince Baganol, I conjure you, King Bobogel, magnificent king of the sun, and Prince Bornogo, ruler of the hours of Venus, Governor Bonafron, ruler of the hours of Mars, Governor Bonafa, ruler of the hours of Jupiter, Governor Barigas, ruler of the hours of Mercury, Governor Buskinab, ruler of the hours of Saturn, and Governor Bablibo, ruler of the hours of Luna, and your above names and powers I conjure you, and all your angelic ministers. Grant your grace, power, virtue, and wisdom in all that we do now. Ask. I, Jareth Tempest, do summon you all now and charge you to obey and serve me, my wife, my loved ones, all my friends, students, clients, and all who hear these words, and everyone who calls on you in my name. Carry us all through life in a state of playful wonder and well-being. Let love, health, abundance, prosperity, success, belonging, victory, freedom, and everlasting joy flow forever into our lives. Be with us and bring success in all the works we attempt this day, this week, and all the days of our lives. Turn back all foul fortune from us and bring us only good fortune. Guide us where we need to go. Teach us what we need to know and show us what we need to see. I seal this command with the word of power, Agla. A prayer to end suffering. We cry aloud for all who weep, those whose bodies are in torment. They are healed. Those whose thoughts are confounded, their minds find peace. Those whose lives are lamentation, they are comforted. The lonely find love, and the defaced find beauty. Where there is war, we demand peace. Where there are empty mouths, we demand a rich harvest. Where people are poor, we demand gold. Where there is wrath and torment, we demand deliverance and justice for the wicked. Where the wicked reign, we demand righteousness. We do not humbly pray for this, we demand it. Not in time, but this day. We are the holy children, we are God and we are the mother. We speak with the speech of God. We open our mouths and we create heaven out of torment. We invoke all the holy servants of God from all the heavens to create a kingdom of love, a kingdom of peace, a kingdom of joy. We demand the kingdom of heaven this day, so that weeping is only a memory by this night. Gi Bahal Noan told Dis Raklir, Soba Kimalmon Noan Gi Mir, Par Noan Kakam, Soba Angalar Noan Unki, Par Mana Noan in Tharzi, Par Soba Apli Noan in Iofang, Par Noan Liora, Saga Mamans Raklir Noan Bliarga, Ad Atanuk, Noan Tubes, Qui Ian Da Trion Samf Naspad, Gis Fifas and Tharzi, Kian Da Trion Alpha Butmana, Ki Fifas Las Azigyar, Kian Plasi Noan Raklir, Alpha Limal Gi Fifas Adkal, Kian Da Trion Zamfo Admir Gefifas, Zonrezeg, Ad Baut Noan Al Babylon, Kian Babylon Bagpa Gi Fifas Baltal, Gi Zan Lava Noan Oi Gefifas, Ip Capimeo Oi Bazgim Gi Ad Ani Norome, Gi Noan Iad, we Noan Exen Tasir, Ad Gi Kamilax Ad Laugath, Gi Odo Butman Ad Kaas Madrix Gedamir, Ge Ar Dedko, Tol, Ani no Kaad, Di Iad Otol, Madriax, Di Las Londo di Dioragua, Lando di Intharze, Londo di Max, Ge Fifas Alando di Madriax, Oi Baskim, Ad Raklir, Popnir, Oi Virk. We now remember those who have come before us, and we pray for their souls and that they find their way to the place of peace and healing in the next world. Fill your desire for your ancestors to find the lost or unhealthy dead or anyone who has recently died. Then as we pray, turn it into gratitude, as though we've already received 1,000 blessings from your ancestors. We look back on our ancestral bloodlines and call to those ancient ones who shine with wisdom and love. We honor you. We praise you. We pray you work in healing the dead and torment. We also pray you look for all in our bloodlines, light their walk to your home. Shelter the dead in peace and heal their hearts. We praise you, O wise ancestors. We think of you and we sing your praises. We also humbly pray you shine your wisdom and light on all of our works. Get Dorfa, get Tola, Kinila ad adgat, desoiga telo, dis loholo miketh ad blioraga, gi ia adrix, nonki di oa crimi nonke, ad lava nonki veul, ge kekoma, aga gimir, gi lava nonke dorfa tol, dagi, telo, kinila, opirit oi insi salmon, Lanza tello, ian tharzi ad page, ad kakom, oi manans, ge, oi crimi nonke, ke sorgatello, gi angular nonke, ad ge oi crimi, gi zura lava nonke loholo mikath, ad olpek katol, ge considra. We pray for the soul of the world and for all of her sons and daughters. We repent of destroying her children and despoiling her treasure and making her diminish. Open our eyes so that we can see our spirit community. Open us to hear their weeping. Open our hearts so that we can flourish together. We pray to hear their wisdom and act on it. Gi lava aga ka'ad, ad totil basibs, ad nir, ge mo'a, ge pazar til noromi ad iraspa til limla ad ol til pazar, odo ge oayan de uan kafafen ayaf zorge ga odo ge sorpath oi raklir, odo ge manans oi ge tol kakam, ge lava sopeth oi mikath ad sotol. A prayer for health. In the name of he that lives in supreme life, I invoke she who is the end. We sing praise to your glory. I pray to you for the health of all who listen to my voice and all of their loved ones. Let your face be friendly and shine healing on us. Repent of our death. Hearken our groans and lamentations. I call on the holy servants of the sun to deliver us from torment. Let us flourish everlasting. Ga'adoa ayin. Ge Yapil, Od Yabis, Ol, Aredgo, Galva, Gi Oakrimi, Gagi, Bustir, O Lava, Gi, Gilab Akilimum, Kakam, Detol di Solpath, Gi Ol, Ya, Od Mamon Fafin, Op Odoyan, Zorge, Aloho Gage, Moayan, Ge Telag, Tuatar, Ge uegegi, oi oifim, ol adget, atol nan nakad, dia gor zonregs gemir, trion kakam go ahead. A prayer for pleasure and prosperity. By the name of the highest and the name of the all-powerful, I invoke the mother of all. We sing your mighty beauty and power. We call on all the holy servants of the sun that I and all who listen and pray are lifted upon the pillar of gladness, and crown us a garland of gold, girdle us in treasure, and pour down glory and triumph upon us. Grant us a harvest of pleasure and joy. Ga'adoa ayin, Iayara, ad yandal, ol argedko exintasir galaba, gi oekrini, nonka kanse tubes od, lanch, al arget atol ne, nakad de alvro na ol, atol de sopath, de lava zirom farms, meek, al nazareth de moment, de oblak de adkal, atra gi ge, Limlaw Odd Pan Pir Bustir Odd Humtal Miak Ge Deluga D Azigyar Ke Kawasahi Odd Mod. A prayer for love and belonging. I invoke she who is the end, mother of the world. I pray for all who can hear my voice is loved and has someone to love. In her powerful name, I call on all the holy servants of the sun to cast out your loneliness, bind it for time everlasting. And I pray the true love of your life manifests. I pray no scorpion separates you. I pray the two become one. I pray all of you find belonging among loving people. O Arget Gava, Extentasu, O Lava Laptol, Gedi Solpath, Diol Bian, Trion Bliorga, Ad Bin Molap de Bliorga, Ge Tob Mikaluzo, Doo Ayan, O Adget Atol Ne, Nakaad, Dia Roar Atpan, La Kasaga Mamans, Donsi, Alar La Kapi Mayo Gohead, Ad O Lava Gagi, Bil Bliorga, Kedar, O Lava Ad Siatris Tildiob, Nonki, O Pre Pala Porlo, O Lava Lapdo, no one Kafafim, Off, Zorgeg, Olog. I will now read the prayer requests. For SD, for the finances long promised to arrive this week, Iat Fafis Gagil. For R, to have a closer relationship with their youngest son, Iat Fafis Gagil. For SH, for removing money blockages from their daycare business, Iat Fafis Gagil. For JG, to help JG recover from his persistent cold and please manifest $500 for expenses, Iat Fafis Gagil. For TZ, the T's previous landlord A contacts her and gives her due deposit of €400 back. For IN, for Iat Fafis Gagil. For IN, for safety and successful travel for beloved ones the next days, Iat Fafis Gagil. For DHP, to restore ST to perfect physical health swiftly, Iat Fafis Gagil. For DD, to get money to pay off all their debts ASAP and to be given a very handsome pay raise at work, Iat Fafis Gagil. For TTN, to strengthen their discipline and motivation in their practice, Iat Fafis Gagil. For M, to have loyal, dedicated staff that won't let the service users down because they generally care about the service users, to have 3 new staff, and to have 4 new service users, Iat Fafis Gagil. For BB, they would like to pass their exam on their first attempt with good grades, Iat Fafis Gagil. To be able to express, for TV, to be able to express themselves with ease at all times, not worrying about other people's opinion. Fill them with confidence and charisma, Iat Fafis Gagil. For A33, so they can finally move quickly to the best possible apartment for them, Iat Fafis Gagil. For MK, to find so they may finish their college projects faster, Iat Fafis Gagil. For V, for better sleep, to manifest €20,000 and to win the heart of HS, Iat Fafis Gagil. For NL, for healing and success, Iat Fafis Gagil. For MK, for money out of the blue to come to them and their family this week, Iat Fafis Gagil. For GL, meet special person this month, Iat Fafis Gagil. For MV, that the magic flourish quickly, Iat Fafis Gagil. For DM, to receive 15% hiking salary this year, receive mental peace, strength of mind, and that they be able to marry the man that they desire, Iat Fafis Gagil. For S, for everything to fall into place, peaceful work, finding a family doctor, finding a house, and increase in finance, Iat Fafis Gagil. For S, that they're for peace in their home and for good fortune in their business, Iod Fifus Gagil. For KMU, remove procrastination, laziness, and fear. Bring the motivation and work and willpower to work on making money. Iod Fifus Gagil. For GJC, open their energy channels to fortify their intentions. Iod Fifus Gagil. For DDL, that their rent is paid for June. Iod Fifus Gagil. For B, that they find a job and a girlfriend that suits them well. Iod Fifus Gagil. For AT, that they earn and pay 10,000 in July of 2024. Iod Fifus Gagil. For A, that they find that their friend PA wins court proceedings this week. Iod Fifus Gagil. For BAC, that their business dreams materialize with ease. Iod Fifus Gagil. For MVM, that they have more sales in June. Iod Fifus Gagil. For CZ, to receive $5,000 or more to catch up on bills and begin building wealth and prosperity and reconnect a flame with a distant romantic relationship. Iod Fifus Gagil. For AC, that AEA be healed in all ways in relationships, wealth, and health. Iod Fifus Gagil. For RC, that their search quickly results in their maintaining new, personally and financially fulfilling job. Iod Fifus Gagil. For AC, that DL recover from their virus and lung collapse in intensive care. Iod Fifus Gagil. For A, for strength, health, harmony, peace for her, their daughter, and brother, to invite love into their life, that all negative energy directed towards them be transformed into success and prosperity. Iod Fifus Gagil. For IN, that their magic works with ease. Iod Fifus Gagil. For A33, so that all their dates go well and they can manifest and they can make their beloved fall in love. Iod Fifus Gagil. For DDL, to remove their money and abundance blocks. Iod Fifus Gagil. For R, physical and financial healing and dream recall. Iod Fifus Gagil. For L, to receive money by June 11th, international job move and good health and abundance. Iod Fifus Gagil. And for everyone who didn't get their prayer request in and has something that they would like, feel your desire right now for what you want. And then state what you want, either out loud or in your mind. And then transform your desire into gratitude as though you have already received it. Lord, answer our prayers. Iod Fifus Gagil. We sing praise to your name. Gi oa krimi. Degi doa ayam. And we will now start the pathworking. Path 3, the third path of beauty, to increase physical strength. Close your eyes and imagine yourself walking out your door. Imagine you begin to walk north. There is a lush forest there. Walk through the forest. Marvel at the tall trees. We now begin to climb upwards, and the trees of the forest thin. We climb a high mountain. At the top, we see many more magnificent peaks around us. We climb down the mountain now, down into a rocky valley, and as we continue to walk, we find ourselves in a sandy desert. The sky is dark but full of stars. The Milky Way is brilliant out here. We walk into the desert, know we are leaving all life behind, and are nearing the edge of the world. Finally, at the edge of a great chasm, stands the angelic Watchtower of the Earth. It is tall and made of black stone. Hold the image of the black Watchtower of the Earth as I say, May we enter and safely pass through the black Watchtower of Earth. May we successfully traverse the third path of beauty. May we obtain success in this initiation, thus increasing physical strength. We approach closer to the watchtower and see the turquoise gate, its doors closed. Standing before the doors is the angelic guardian Axir. He is a masculine angel with small wings. He wears a red-orange robe. He holds a topaz that bestows great physical strength. Try and hold this image in your mind as I say, O Axir, I call to thee. Come and open for me the turquoise gate of the Watchtower of the Earth, which you guard. I ask to gain entry by the threefold secret holy name, Mor Dial Hectiga. I open the gate with the key of earth. Sa pa zinii du ev ad noas ta ka anis adrak dorfal ka ozig ad feans periposol tobliar kasarm amiphizi na azarth af ad lugar zizap ze lida keasagi tol torg ad ze kis el si asik el ta vi o ud yad thir dis perur huba pe ol saba kumva kis ta la zis ad kako kasar kanils ad darbs ka as fefe ad zi ad bliora e al ed neskiklis bagle yad el. Axir walks up to you. A light shines about him. The light shines into you, penetrating you completely as he embraces you. He says, I am the angel of earth. I am the angel Axir. I am the guardian of the turquoise gate. Enter the Watchtower of Earth. The turquoise gate opens. As you approach the gate, there is writing above it. Wonderful and great are the secrets and judgments of God's determinations to come, which are already leased and gathered to your bosom. Walk through the gate into the Watchtower of Earth. The floor and walls are made of black stone. You feel the power of earth moving through the stones. Fertility, stability, all the powers of nature. You feel the weight of the past, all human angelic history. You feel the dead and your ancestors. I will repeat the threefold secret name for protection. Mor Dial Hectiga. Mor Dial Hectiga. Mor Dial Hectiga. We now come to a stairway leading up. Before it stands another angel. He is also strong with dark skin. He wears a yellow robe. He holds an agate. You can feel healing energy coming from the agate. He says, I am the Kerubim angel of earth. I am the Cherub Roam. I am the guardian of the grain stairway. He embraces you, and again you feel his light shine through you. He says, throughout eternity, I manifest myself from earth to water within earth. Read the words written above the grain stairway and rise up through the Watchtower of Earth. You begin to climb the 12 steps of the grain stairway as you read the words. Come, O you that have sucked at the breast, wherein the judgments and secret will of the Lord is hid, and of necessity to come. At the top of the stairs you enter the floor of the water within the earth, and see a stone fountain. The air is cool and damp like a cave. You see a second staircase. The words above the stairway say, human policy cannot prevail here. As many as are not faithful in these regions shall die a most miserable death, and shall drink of sleep everlasting. We now climb the second stairway. At the top of the stairs is another angel. He is very tall and wears an amber robe, and has massive wings. He is very beautiful, and you feel the energy of beauty emanating from him. Unafraid, approach him. He stoops to embrace you. You feel he is making you more beautiful as he holds you. He says, I am Kabalpet. I am the angel of the cross of earth. I bear the cross of earth from water to air within earth. The floor of air within earth is dry with a cool breeze. You can see a third stairway. Above this one is written, Behold, there are which rise and have lost their bodies, and there are also which rise, and they rise in body. Climb the third stairway. It is cool and dry and smells of musk. You now step out into the tier of fire within earth. You see two majestic nude angels, the king of the Watchtower of Earth, Igzeheheka, and the goddess of the Watchtower of Earth, Hezkicha. If you identify as male, stand before the king. If you identify as female, stand before the goddess. Listen to their description and try to visualize them both. Both are dark-skinned. They emulate power. Their nature is to make things remain as they are. You sense they like to give things names and define them. Their presence fills you with a sense of identity and clarifies memories of the past. King Igzeheheka wears a black crown on his dark head and holds a black pinnacle in his left hand. The goddess, Hezkicha, wears a golden tiara on a head covered in black hair. She holds a black pinnacle in her right hand and an unopened flower bud in her left hand. You will now embrace the king or goddess. Feel yourself melt into them and transform into them. Again, if you are King Igzeheheka, you are a beautiful, strong, dark-skinned man with a black crown and a black pinnacle in your left hand. And if you are the goddess Hezkicha, you are beautiful with dark skin and black hair and hold a black pinnacle in your right hand and an unopened bud of a flower in your left. Now continue to imagine that you are the king or goddess and turn towards your consort, who now faces you in the nude. Imagine you say, I am the good angel of man. I am the external center of the soul. I do carry with me the eternal character of the thing whereof one seeks to be a dignifier. Within lies a great secret, the conjunction and separation of the proportion of their times between the soul and the body of man. Happy, therefore, is the soul who beholds the glory of his dignification and is partaker of him that is his keeper. May this be known unto men, so that the thickness of the earth cannot hinder their speeches, neither can the darkness of the lowest air obscure or make dark the sharpness of their eyes. May this character be made manifest in me. Now smile at each other as though you were in love. Slowly move towards each other in embrace. And as I say the word Nanta, merge king and goddess of earth together. And as you try to hold the image of, as you do this, try to hold the image of the black stone tower around you. Nanta, Nanta, Nanta. Continue to hold this image as I read. Thus has truth vanquished darkness. Even so I shall vanquish the world in the name of the spirit of power and truth. Thus I am sworn. But I cease for days to come, for they are delivered. Let them be therefore to me as days of repentance. For the end of 40 days must come, and this doctrine shall be written to all nations, even to the end of the world. The grain is yet the earth, and has newly consented within the earth. But when it springs and bears seed, the number shall be the last. A light begins to build within you. It builds and builds. And as you do, the feelings of power flowing through you build. Suddenly, the light glows so bright that you are blinded. A moment passes, and you are outside again, standing outside the angelic Watchtower of Earth. Let us turn now towards the desert and walk back to ourselves. A prayer for union with the divine. While we thank Koranzam for the blessing and wonders of ourselves, may we see the truth. We pray for divine knowledge. Fill us with wisdom. Open our minds, hearts, and eyes so that we understand that we are not poor wretches, but are the holy children of the Holy Mother. Help us to understand that we are one with the Mother, as she is one with the Father. As they are one, so are we all one. Gi o krimi koronzam, lapa obele, a tiliop, arget, ge uan veawan, ge lava lap iadna, deluga anananiel, oro gi manans, oa anan, ar ge om ge ipam, apakma, crib noan, ni kurzis, dia ni extentasir, deluga ama ge noan saga a extentasa, kas nin noan a iad, nome ge pola, saga noan saga. Another closing prayer. We praise you, all you holy servants of God. We praise you, Mother of the world. We praise you, God the Most High. Let us, holy children, go forth in love and power to speak the speech of God into creation and create a kingdom of heaven. Gi oa krimi told, nin aquad, dia iad. Gi oa krimi nonke extentaser. Gi oa krimi ia iadan. Trion gene, norome, tustax, giblioraga. Ad vohim, di, kamliax, a logath, ge de ka chaos, londa de amadriax. In the name of the Father, the Mother, and the Holy Children. Gia doa niana, a exentaser ad a nino romi, pa'id. All right. So I did have one thing I meant to talk about this last week, and I finally remembered what it was I wanted to mention. So in one of those that prayer for divine union, I mentioned Koranzam, and I thank him for his blessing. And I kind of want to mention that because Koranzam is a very misunderstood figure within the occult world, and especially I mean, he is from the Enochian, but he's kind of moved beyond just Enochian into other figures, but he's usually considered to be a demon and is sometimes even equated with the devil. And that's not really an accurate picture of what this being is. Now he's called the angel of dispersion, and that is sort of like he is the angel of separation, and he is the concept of separation. And so if we see God as non-dual, then there is no separation. Everything is God. And so we needed to be able to exist and to have a physical world. For any of this, you need to have a form of the concept of separation, and it needs to act in our world. And so, in a sense, Karanzam is the first other. It's the first thing when God was like, I'm going to make something else. It was, that idea of separation, which had to go, had to be the very first thing before there could have been a father and a mother. There had to be an idea of separation. That's what Karanzam is. And so, in a sense, we owe everything to that idea of separation. And so we're thanking him for his blessing of our own identity and for living in a world within which that we have room to explore and to create. However, we're asking to see beyond the separation and to the truth in which we are all one. So that's what that prayer is about. Does that make sense to anyone? And so, like, I know that, like, Crowley says he battled with Karanzam and won, and then that's how he became who he was and got access to the secret chiefs. And I feel like that's really where Crowley might have failed, and that's where it just got into, like, feeding his ego. Um, but I'm not a huge expert on Crowley either, so I'm not going to say too much about that because I'm not an expert. Um, but anyway, that is what that is, and so in a way, we're playing this whole world and this life is we're playing the game of Karanzam, where we come here and we choose to be limited beings, and it's that limitation that causes pain and suffering and allows there to be pain and suffering in the world. It's a consequence of being limited, and so that's kind of that's where all of that comes from. Now, a lot of that's where the concept of pain and suffering comes from, and why there has to be natural pain and suffering. However, a lot of pain and suffering is not um, the angels or the way the reality is. We inflict a lot of pain and suffering on each other and on ourselves, and it's that suffering that I'm asking be removed, as well as for healing and things like that. Um, because we can obviously make the world a much better place. We've really kind of screwed everything up. We've manifested a world of pain and suffering out of fear and ignorance. We're still have this idea that we're animals, that and there's only so much to go around, and anyone's going to come, and someone could any time come and take our stuff from us. And that's fear. It's just fear. And we have more than enough to go around for everybody today. And we don't have to live in fear anymore. We don't have to live in ignorance. That's what I'm and others are trying to do, is to help everyone understand that we don't have to live that way anymore. We don't have to have a world where we're constantly afraid, and a world built on the idea of scarcity. Like we have enough. We have more than enough. America throws enough calories away to feed the world every day. So we have enough houses for everybody. The houses stand empty just because they can't make a profit. And that's the kind of thing that's just revolting to me, and that money becomes more important than people. And if you can't make a profit, then you let people be homeless or starve. And this idea, like, there's just so many things that are outdated and old. We don't need anymore. We don't need borders and boundaries. We don't need any of these things anymore, if we ever did. So, I mean, obviously, it's a pipe dream. We're not going to just suddenly dissolve all nations and capitalism, but we can still, if enough of us start to believe in who we are and what we are, that we are God, and we can create a new world. And I think that a lot of what's happening now is just, it's what the Bible describes as labor pains, as we're birthing a new world. So that's kind of the gist of everything I'm kind of working towards. And yes, I would like to help people who need financial help, and I want to help people who are lonely find love, and I want to help people take care of their physical needs, and everything like that. But that's just a small part of what I really would like to help people with. And I would really love to help everyone overcome everything that's holding them back. And it's much more than just we don't have enough stuff. So anyway, does anyone have any questions or anything before we go? Again, I apologize to everyone who didn't get their prayer request in on time. I only take them for like 5 minutes at the beginning. So you've got to be there and get them in at that time. I'm sorry if that didn't work out for anybody, but we do have the moment in the prayer where you can state your own request, and everything is covered. Everything is taken care of. It doesn't matter if I say it out loud or if you say it out loud. It's all covered. I don't work with Solomonic Pentacles, so I can't say how to activate a Pentacle of Mars. That's not something I do. Yeah, I'm still working on all the books I've been talking about. I've got the sequels to the Filthy Grimoire, and when I say I'm working on, I have the magic done for those. The servitors are made; they're in the Patreon. I just need to write the books, but I'm not working on writing the books right now. No. Well, I thank all of you for your thanks, and thanks for being here. I'm glad that people are enjoying this. I'm having fun too. This is like refreshing. It's nice to get here and interact with people, and not just through making posts. How did I discover magic? That's I don't know. It depends on your definition of magic. I started off as I discovered mysticism, like in the Catholic tradition, which is fairly magical. And I had a little prayer book that if you did these certain devotions, usually it was over several days, then there was like a list of promises that came with it. And like, if you do this, then you'll get this. And that's basically a grimoire. And so that's where I started. It's called the Pieta prayer book. It's this little blue book. It had some pretty cool stuff in it. Most of it's just we're helping you with like grow spiritually and not have an accidental death that you die unconfessed or anything like that. It was very Catholic. My scariest or weirdest magical experience. Oh man, like there's so much weird. Like, I mean, I've seen reality glitch out and stop, and I kind of stepped out of it. I mean, that was pretty scary. So yeah, that. Yeah, and plenty has left me speechless. I mean, again, when you see reality just kind of glitch out and then just freeze and stop, and just kind of walk around in that timeless that feels broken space. That was, it's a life changing type thing. So someone saying I'm not the only one who sees the Catholic Church works magic too. Every religion works magic. They just don't call it magic. Magic is what other people do. We have miracles, and we have our devotions, and God does things for us. Other people do magic, and that's not just a Catholic thing. That's an everyone thing. So that's magic. That's usually what that word comes from. Is like other people's practice, and that's like you can see that all through the Bible. All the prohibitions against magic are really prohibition against other people's magic, but ours is fine. Please explain the process of how a custom server will execute a command for wealth. Attunement server uses one's attunements. How would a custom server card? Don't worry about how. That's not what you worry about. Don't ever worry about how. How is the death of magic? You let it do whatever it does. You can imagine it goes out like a little person and makes things happen, or it goes into people's heads, or doesn't. Like, it's just all of that is just to help you understand, like, or get an idea, just to give you something to imagine. What it's really doing is, on a quantum level, helping the world decide to go in a certain direction. It's what's really happening is that at any point in time, there are any number of possible futures, and some of those you have what you're asking for. And so any magic that you do is simply trying to make that reality the one that we move into. That's what magic is. And doesn't matter what form it is, that's what it is doing. Where would the energy come from? From that servitor? From the servitor, from the energy that I put into it when I create it. Now, someone wants to share their experience since the first prayer service. 3 prayers have been directly answered. With the path working, they've noticed an elevation of everything daily. Yeah, I wanted to mention the thing with the path workings. I feel like things are getting stirred up. I see it in my dreams a lot. I had a dream. I saw the Watchtower in my dream, and not the way I imagined it. Like it was very kind of, I don't know, certain, like, I can tell when a dream is real. It has a different texture. Everything seems to have I don't know. It's like coral almost. Like everything's kind of made out of coral. It has that texture. It's a very solid, rocky texture, very grainy. I don't know how else to describe it, but everything's like made out of that. And if I ever look at it real closely, it's a fractal, and everything's repeating, and everything has a little piece of everything else further in it. Anyway, but I saw the tower, and it was in that form. So yeah, I think doing these path workings is definitely starting. We're stirring something up, and we're things are, yeah, expect some changes if you do these, especially if you go through every week. Things are going to start happening, and then yeah, as I was saying, like, this is basically how I do most of my magic anymore. I do it in these prayers and just put my requests in there. So I know that they work. And so I know it'll work for you. You just kind of have to have faith, and also, believe, and just step back and let it work. Since doing my podcast on God, how has my understanding of God changed thus far? I don't remember what I said then, but basically everything is God. God is non-dual, and I kind of use the Trinity still as a model. There's the transcendent God that is incomprehensible and beyond anything we can understand. It is just, and that is transcendence outside of our understanding and creation. And then we have the immanent God, which is everything that we can see and touch, but also the things we can't see and touch, the spirit world and things. And I call that the mother. And in the Enochian thing, her name is Galva. And she is also, that name means the end, but she is also wisdom. And so she's very similar to, like, Sophia, if you know who that is. But she is the mother of all, and she is very, I don't know, there's a very much like, almost like a left-hand path current that runs through her, that wants to push you beyond your boundaries and push you out of your comfort zone. But that is an active force that's all around us. And then we are the third person of the Trinity. We are the children, the holy children, and we get to live in this world and create it and explore it. And it's we're creating and exploring this whole, all of ourselves. And what it really is, since we are one with the mother, and the mother is one with the father, then we are as one with the father. Then we are the father exploring the father from within. And it's all about self-knowledge. We need to understand ourselves as God is trying to understand himself, because we are all one. And that is why we have the power to change this thing. We're not stuck with a world that, like what we have. We can make it whatever we want, because it's all, in a sense, we're dreaming this whole thing, and then we're playing characters in the dream. So we can dream another dream. We just have to do it together. What do I think of Lucifer and the Goetic spirits? Why do so many experienced occultists warn about the dangers of working with them? Even Lon Milo. Lucifer and the Goetic spirits. Okay, like Lucifer to me seems to be he is the sun in the underworld. As the sun goes through the underworld, that's Lucifer. And Lucifer is he's the light in the darkness. And the Goetic spirits they're underworld spirits and earth and spirits of the earth. They are not evil. That's not the right word, but they can be kind of mischievous. But their main thing is that they are deeply connected to your unconscious, and they will bring up stuff you may not be expecting. Then, like Asmodeus is really into sex. Like you might go to him and be like, "Hey, I would like to help learn more of this skill and master this skill quicker." And the whole time he's drilling in your head about all these weird sexual repressed stuff that you have, because that's what he's more interested in. And so that's the fear. It's not that they're going to do anything harmful. They're just going to dredge stuff up you might not be expecting or ready for. Can I elaborate on the broken space-time thing? That sounds like it was a really fascinating experience. Not really. It's it's a mental thing. It's like, so the first time it happened, like what it looks like is like things are moving and then things start to freeze and then like leaves it almost like stuff that was behind my copy and it kind of like and then it stops. And in that moment, like the first time I saw Karanzam, that's where I first saw Karanzam, and Karanzam helped me understand what was going on and who I was. And it's happened several times since then at this point. And some of the experiences have been really, really good. Some have been kind of bad, but they're to use like. But the whole thing is that in that moment, I know who I am. It's like I know what I am. I'm God, and I've woken up to it. And again, I don't mean that in like I'm God and I'm the Messiah. I mean, this is something that we're all capable of. We are all God. I'm not trying to like be weird. It's like I just want the only reason I use this as an explanation is so that you can have this experience too, because it's true of each of us. None of us is more special than anyone else. We're all special, but none of us are more special. So I never want you to take that as like I'm trying to say I'm God and you should listen to me. I'm just trying to. I've gone down that path and I know what it is, and I'm just trying to help you to find it so you can recognize it in yourself. So someone's saying, I've noticed that after working with various angels, the next day the clacks will be at a different time, as if the power has gone out. What is this? And have you? I'm assuming you mean the clocks will be at different time. Yeah, clocks. Okay. No, I've never had that happen. I don't know what that is. Sorry. Um, Not like that anyway. No, I don't know. Speaking of the Watchtower, is there anything that would make the tower a familiar place, like a school or a lighthouse? No, it's a watchtower. I mean, it's like a castle or a temple or a palace, but I don't really. I guess I don't really understand what you're asking. How does one awaken their inner genius? But it's already speaking to you right now, so you don't need to awaken it. It's already there. It's already talking to you. You just have to learn how to listen to it. And almost all of the rituals and stuff people do just learn how to sit still and be quiet and listen to themselves. Like, it's amazing to me how many people aren't able to do that. Just to sit still, don't look at your phone, don't play music, sit in silence and just listen to the voices in your head and try to figure out what's you and what isn't you. And the more you know yourself, the more you're going to recognize your voice. And you're going to start recognizing those voices that aren't yours. And you're going to find the one that seems to be like the voice of God inside you. And that's usually your holy guardian angel, or whatever you want to call your tutelary spirit. That's your inner genius. That's what that is. That's how you do that. Jinn versus genius spirit. What's the difference? All of these words are used in so many different ways by different people. Like, almost like the way that Christians want to call everything that's not an angel the demon. People in Islam want to call every spirit that's not an angel a jinn. But a jinn is a fae. It's a type of fae. It's a fire fae. And a genius spirit, and like what he was saying, the inner genius, that's really that's like what Socrates called his inner genius. But that's another name for the holy guardian angel. But there are other types of genius spirits that some people also call genies, which gets confused with jinn. But they're not fae. They're like a more of an angelic power. Yeah, that's the best I can do there. Is it dangerous to have a mirror in the bedroom facing the bed? No. I think that's more of a superstition. Seeing, they were referring to seeing the Watchtower in a dream state. I don't know how you could make that happen, or why you would want to. So I don't know. Is an orbital field drained after working with spirits on a regular basis? Would it mean they eat one's energy away, or perhaps the middle pillar or some rituals should be used to build it up? So there can be an energy drain. It's not that you're using up your energy when you're calling on the spirit. And yeah, you can use like something like the middle pillar to build energy up so that there's more to use and doesn't leave you drained. So yeah, I don't do the middle pillar. I just imagine the power of the earth. I have a chakra that goes down into the earth, and the power of the earth goes in that chakra and then shoots up into me, filling me with energy of the earth. And then I have one up in the sky. Power of the sun hits that when it flows down, and that fills me up. And so that's what I use is the power of the earth and the sun. Or if it's night, then I'll use the moon or the stars. So, or you can always use one of my attunements. That's the other thing. I don't do that very much. You can use attunements for all of these, and then they don't use your energy. You use the energy of the attunement, which is one of the reasons I started doing that. Was because I was real bad about just not taking care of my energy, and I was using it up for all kinds of stuff. And I'd be really, it made me leave me feeling drained and tired. So, yeah, if you use an attunement, use a spirit, then you can just use that attunement and that spirit's energy, and you're not using nearly as much of your own. As I just said, I don't do the middle pillar, so I have not had any breakthroughs with it. I don't do any of the Golden Dawn-esque rituals. I don't do I've never done the Lesser Banishing Ritual, the Pentagram. I've never done any of their pentagram or hexagram rituals. I've never done the middle pillar. I don't do the Gnostic Craw. I don't do any of those. That's not what I do. All right. Anyone got any other questions before we go? Yeah, I'm not seeing a whole lot. So the thing to remember with spirits is why would someone feel euphoric while in the middle of an invocation? Because you're getting that rush of that spiritual energy through you, and it feels good. It's it's all an aspect of divine energy and power, and so it feels good. Best angel for I don't remember off the top of my head. Sorry. Um, I'd have to look it up, and I'm not. Anyone can do that as quick as I can, so I don't know. Um, but the thing to remember with spirits and like what are the spirits? Like the main things to remember is that um, there are nature spirits. There are spirits all around us that are nature spirits. Um, and then there are these are kind of the categories, I guess, of how I like. And a lot of what we call these different names of spirits, demons, angels, and whatnot, are actually nature spirits because like astrology is just basically working with the spirits of the stars and the planets, and that's still all part of nature. So they're not really angels; they're nature spirits. They're just the spirits of the stars or the planets. And a lot of what we call demons are actually just spirits of Earth or in the underworld. And so it's really more of an animistic view of the world. But then there are certain spirits that like magicians work with, and then there's deities and stuff. And one day I'll explain where those come from. Today's not the day, we're about to go, but maybe remind me some other time. A lot of people won't like the answer, but um, those come from a very different place or different situation. And then there's what I have found is that at the edge of reality is it's almost like a wall. It has a fractal wall, and sometimes I've heard other people describe it as they see the eyes and the wings, but it's very much a wall, and it's that edge of reality, and and again, it's very fractal. That's what I feel like the Enochian system is really working with. She's working with those powers that are holding this reality together and can alter it and change it and affect it, and that's what we're pulling from, and that's why you can work with Enochian in many different ways, and it'll always work because it's a fractal. So if you get just a little bit of it right, the rest will repeat within itself, and it works. So, and that's the main reason I've chosen to stick with this system is that it's working with something that it is something I've experienced and seen myself that's out there, and it seems to be a step above your usual nature stuff. So that's that. Is Astaroth a demon or something else? Um, it's a demon. It is what they did. They took the name of Astarte and then they put the vowels of abomination in there, and that made a demon of a deity. So that's what Astarte. That's what Astaroth is. How do you discern between a real living spirit and an egregore? It's really like sometimes it can be easy enough if it's a small enough one, like they'll look flat or they won't have the personality of another one. But if it's old and it's been around long enough, man, it's really hard to tell. And believe me, a lot of people don't know the difference. And even now, after I've been doing this long, I'm only beginning to really recognize some of the differences. Um, and it's all really complicated. Like, what is an egregore? Is an egregore not really a spirit? Because like spirits come from even our concepts, and is that not a real spirit? So it's not like egregores are fake or created, man-made. There are some that are very much created, but then there's others that simply are created out of our like different ideas and concepts and things, and then we weren't trying to create a spirit, but a spirit was still created. So it's not a fake spirit. Like we need to get the idea that egregores are fake out of our head. That's not really accurate. And the genius spirits, they're not made up. That's like, I mean, some might be. That's a different that's a different topic for a different day. But the concept of an egregore, there are absolutely ones that are created by like lodges. Like, we're gonna make an egregore, and they very actively get into it and create a spirit that is the spirit of their order. And really, it's not so much that they're creating it; they're just being involved in creating it. It was gonna form anyway in a natural process, because again, these are natural beings. They're not just made up constructs. So that idea, it's kind of harmful. It kind of gives people a negative view of an egregore when it's not really like, I don't think it is. It works the way they think it does. At least not the way that most people think it does. So, all right. So with that, I'm going to do the final blessing, and then we will go. I will turn everything. Oh, where'd it go? All right. Here we go. Get the thing. Okay. He that is the first sustain us. She that is the end beautify us. Angels of Lord, guard us from all torment. Comfort us in all discord and light our way to supreme life. God of righteousness, pour down love, pleasure, healing, glory, gold, peace, and the secret joy of God. Mother of wisdom, pour down divine knowledge upon us. He that sits on the holy throne, crown us and enthrone us in power. Move us to be mighty and rejoice in the power of creation. In the name of the Father, the Mother, and the Holy Children. El Gahaz Gi, Galva Ubsgi, Unakaad, Dia Iad, Bramsk, Getol Mir, Bliorix, Gi Atolos, Ad Opirt, Gi Inzi, Di Iabas, Bia Ivib, Panpir, Bliorga, Kuasahi, Kinilalman, Capcom Booster, Adkal, Darzi, Ada Iada, Mozad, Ananael, Panpir, Yadnadmad, Mirkige, Ido Ego, Momir, Ad Velocors Apax, Gia Mikalos, Zakam, Gia Omikaos, Ad Kirlan Gia Mikals, D Kaas, Ga Noai, Doayan, Yaida, Axentasser, Ad Noromi, Payid. All right, everybody. Thank you for being here, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.